Okay, Steve, we've signed Dan Maguire from Blyth Spartans. Tell us what you like about the player.
I've got to know him a little bit over the summer. He's a great character. He's a terrific striker, as I think most clubs in the league would tell you that's played against him. He's a scorer of very good goals. He can score all kinds of goals, really. He's very lively. He's somebody that in the last two leagues has probably clocked up as many goals as anybody has. And it's took a little while to do because obviously there's more teams than us have been interested in Dan. He's had a lot of options. Obviously he's now made a decision to become a full-time footballer, which was a big deal to him, and it did take it took a little bit of convincing, and you had to wait for him to make his mind up, because it has to be the right thing for him as well. But luckily we've both come to the same conclusion, and this is the club he wants to give it a go at, and I think we're very lucky to have him, and I think it'll work really well.
And what are his strengths as a striker?
Well, I mean, obviously, you want goals from any striker. His work rate's very good. He's very unpredictable. You'll see him. He's not a big lad like Jordan or John was, but he's still a massive handful to defenders. And in this league, where movement kills people a little bit, as Maka proved at the end of last season, I just think we've got a good mix now. I think. Obviously, Macaulay was fantastic at the end of last season with his movement and his goal ratio. Jordan had a great season as a bit more of a target man. Kempster, very powerful runner, got his share of the goals. We've got great pace in Wes. We've got Jake Wright, still waiting to make a massive impact at the club, and that's got to be his aim. We've even got young Chiari training with us this pre-season, so there's plenty of options now, and obviously nobody's guaranteed a game, so it's up to the lads now. But as I say, I think Dan will be a huge feather in the cap for the club. I think the fans will be excited by it, and so we should be.
And a big decision for Dan because it's his first move into full-time football.
It is, yeah. I mean, we have had lots of chats this summer, and as I said before, he's had lots of other options. Leagues above us really as well. But we've had chats, and I think he likes what was said to him about the club and about the way that we're planning on going, and the way that we're planning on trying to progress as a club. The fact that we've got all the things in place to progress as a club. The infrastructure is going to be fantastic. He's excited about the new stadium. The training ground obviously impresses everybody. But he's like what he's heard. He's like the way we're going to try and play. He's like we're looking to hope to bring in, and it is a big decision for him. Yeah, I mean, even now he's got work commitments till the end of this month, and so that's why you probably won't see him on the pitch with a scarf and one of those cheesy photos until pre-season. But as I say, I'm really glad it's over the line, and now it's just a case of cracking on with maybe 3 or 4 more, and that'll get me where I'll be very happy starting the season.
I was just going to ask you there, that's 3 new faces into the club so far this summer. Others have already signed new deals. Are you satisfied with where you're at the moment?
Yeah, look, I think if you look at the way we finished the season, and you look at the form from February, there wasn't the enormous amount of changes needed that people maybe thought earlier in the season, because we finished well. We finished with 2nd or 3rd place form. And now we're looking to just add that extra bit of guaranteed quality and that little bit of something different to the team, to add to the players that have already re-signed. And I think as I say, this is a big step towards doing that. We've got a goalkeeper who's agreed to sign, but one thing I've learned over this summer is I don't take anything for granted until that pen's to paper, because there's been a lot of chopping and changing of minds this summer from various departments. So as I say, we had somebody agreed to sign. He's on holiday now, and hopefully that's going to be done when he gets back. We're speaking to 3 or 4 more people, but again, they're all away, and they've all got decisions to make, because they're all players that have got different options, and you'd expect that, because the players are going to make a difference for us, or players that other teams will want. So again, we're going to have to be patient and hope that they drop ideally before pre-season. But if it goes into pre-season, then so be it. I mean, I started pre-season with Gateshead last year. I think there was only about 3 or 4 signed when we started pre-season. The rest was looking at people in pre-season, seeing them in games, getting to know them as people, characters, whether they could do it. And we built the squad virtually through July, and we still had a relatively successful season. So, you know, I won't panic too much if everybody's not signed by the time we start, but in an ideal world, that's how I'd want it.
Any possibility of departures other than the players who were released at the end of the season?
Well, obviously, I think departures are inevitable in the club, but if players think they're not going to be involved or they're not going to be playing, but it's up to the players to be involved and get in the team. And as I said to the lads before they left, and I'll say it to them again, I'll reiterate, when we start pre-season, you'll all have the same chance pre-season. You know, there's people who haven't been involved much. Wes didn't play much at the end of the season. Jake Wright didn't play much for me. Tom Allen hasn't really had a chance for me because he was on loan when I got here. Young Nathan. And there's a couple of young lads going to be training with us, young Watson and Jebo on the left, and they'll all do pre-season with us, and they'll all have a chance pre-season. So, and if it comes to the end of pre-season and they think the involvement's not here, then inevitably people want to go out and play, and I understand that. So they might well be, but as I say, the start of pre-season, the plan is to have everybody that is our players starting pre-season and see where we go.